All right, good morning. Chris Popper here in Bangor, and I'm joined by Maine soccer coach Scott Atherly. And you are where?
I'm in Boston, Massachusetts. Chris,
So
how are
you,
you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for joining us. You had an exhibition game yesterday. Tell us who you played and how it went.
We played Northeastern University. Game ended in a 0-0 draw. We got to play 20 plus players and got a really good look at everyone. I think that's going to give us some insight about our team, and was really happy with a lot of the moments that we had. We created some good chances. Really didn't give away much, and for a real first test, I was pretty pleased.
And you have one more exhibition scheduled against Quinnipiac down in Connecticut. When is that?
That's tomorrow. So we stay on the road. Uh, Actually, the players right now are in the pool, kind of just getting a little bit of regen going, and kind of want to stay off of our feet today because we're still in our preseason period. We're less than 1 week out from our regular season opener against Rhode Island, so we're kind of in that preservation mode, managing player load, and making sure that we're recovered for Sunday.
You started a week ago, is that correct? With the practices? I mean, you
Yeah,
don't have a long um, preseason training time.
Yeah, we started August 1st, so about 11 days ago, and it's tricky because you're trying to get in so much in such little time. You want to make, judgments about players and who's going to play where, and at the same time, you have to be very careful of not overtraining your players because ultimately, when we play on our first game on the Sunday, you have to be as fresh as possible. So it's a little tricky.
I was going to ask you how you were going to manage the heat, but you seem to be doing fine with everybody in the pool today.
Well, managing heat has to do with how hydrated you are,
Right.
making sure that you're recovered properly. So the bottom line is we're going to play in heat and we train in heat. So, it's been hot the last week. That's one of the good things. So really our players this is an opportunity to further acclimate to the heat, more in a game environment, but that's more about their preparation than anything. And, it wasn't an issue yesterday.
The going on the road for a couple exhibition games like this, that's going to help team chemistry and bonding, does it?
It sure does, and that's by design one of the reasons that we jumped out. Our first 2 weeks we're at home, so looking at when I was looking at the schedule, this was really a good opportunity, especially when the players come back on a voluntary basis. They're all back here in July, so it
Right.
kind of gets things get mundane a little bit and a little bit tired. So this is just a really good opportunity to get a change of scenery, to play games, two really competitive games, and really to it's kind of dress rehearsal for when we go on the road and just how things work, the protocol, kind of the setup, how we behave on the road in terms of our routine. That's all really good practice for us right now, in addition to just developing those relationships.
Well, when you go on the road, you want to do have that. You want it to seem like it's old hat. I mean, it's great to get that out of the way. Everybody knows what they have to pack. Everybody knows. I mean, I'm sure that everybody kind of figures out where they're sitting on the bus, and
Yeah.
it's we get to the hotel. These are this is how we check in and the
Yep.
how we eat and things like that. So playing on the road is difficult enough, but when you add in the travel and everything, that makes it a little bit more trickier.
Yeah, and routine is really important to the players and the staff, and we have two new staff, members, and for them it's figuring things out, and these are not the things that we want to be figuring out on our first road trip.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
it's really a great test run. It's a good trial and error basis for our staff and for our players to know, so that we are in a routine when we do hit the road for the first time in the regular season.
And when we talked last, it was in that hands-off period. It's
Mhm.
going to be great that you can now interact with the players. Having them up on campus is great, but to be able to spend the time with them is even better.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything. and as you said, it's limited time, and you just have to be careful that you don't try to get too much in. There's a balance of how much intake they can accept and be able to process, especially with the new team. So you start out with this ambitious schedule, and then by the time you're in the moment, you're paring back a little bit and saying, okay, how can we really be efficient here? What makes the most sense? I don't want to overtrain our players, and what needs revisiting. And that's a thing that those are decisions you have to make when you're in the moment.
I apologize. I have a 4-day-old, new to me, 6-month-old puppy who's squeaking
Right.
in the background. So
that's all right.
Yeah, he's doing great. Anyway, first game this Sunday against Rhode Island. So you start right off into it, and Sunday at noon. So oh my, that's going to be a big test.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if you look at our non-conference schedule, we don't have a ton. I think we have 6 non-conference games. And when you set them up, you're trying to get, it's based on how they did last year. You're trying to get a balance. But if you look at all the teams, in the Patriot League, BU won it, and Army was second. So those are 2 top teams. Con won the American, and they went to the NCAA tournament. So there's 2 NCAA tournament teams in a couple of games for us. Merrimack's doing really, really well in the North Conference. So our non-conference games are really challenging, including Rhode Island. Rhode Island had their best season in the A10. A10 is a little bit by accident. Our non-conference schedule has turned out to be, it's going to be a really big challenge for us, and that's great because that's ultimately you get to see what you're made out of early.
All the new players, everybody gelling well. I mean, you lost quite a few, and I mean, it's all that. How quickly can everybody acclimate?
Well, they're doing as well as they possibly can, and we really like our new group. They're open-minded, and they're bright. So those are good qualities to have. They're also very good players. All of them are capable of stepping on the field and playing, which is a little bit unusual in a first-year class. We have 7 true freshmen, and all 7 belong on the field. Now it's just a matter of, can they develop the understanding and the relationships and handle all the other things that come from transitioning to being a college student, because those are the things that probably influence their ability on the field more than their talent.
And there's such a transition between, being a star senior player and being a freshman. I mean, in college, because I mean, you're playing against seniors or 5th-year seniors as a freshman, and there's such a big difference in those 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and I think the other piece is just the daily habits you have to excel at this level. And again, when you're a student, you have to be able to have good self management and discipline to be able to keep your life in order, so that you're not overwhelmed, so that when you can go to practice, you're able to focus on what's happening at practice. So all of those, those individual qualities and habits you need to be a successful Division I player, they have to acquire those talents and habits, and that's, you have to go through it.
And I mean, a lot of these new players aren't new to you because of your interactions with them on Seacoast United.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, the ones that have familiarity with me and vice versa, they're very familiar with our game model at Maine, because it's the same game model that I use with my club team. So those players have had less to adjust to. The terminology is familiar. The principles are the same. So for them, it's been a little bit more of a smooth transition. But we have a really good game model in terms of explaining how we want to play for our international players and others, and they've adapted really quickly as well.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, so the first game is this Sunday, the first regular season game. Hard to believe we're right into it. August 17th at home, 12 noon against Rhode Island. How's the construction of the new field going?
Fast. So they're working every day, including the weekends. fingers crossed. We're gonna see that field by the time our conference season starts, and it's just really exciting. And it really is. It's at that point where you really see it's real.
Yeah, which is, I mean, the first conference game is, well, the first conference home game is October 2nd.
Yep.
Yeah, you're at U Albany on
The
September
21st.
21st.
Yeah,
But
and I think a little bit of a transition time to get on that field, and that will be a bit of a transition.
yeah, I mean, it's it'd be great to play on that new field and all the amenities that go with it.
Sure
All
will.
right, Coach, thank you so much. Best of luck on tomorrow against Quinnipiac in the exhibition game. And I will be up there Sunday, August 17th, 12 noon against Rhode Island. I take some pictures. We'll get it again. We'll have recaps of all the regular season games on the 92.9 the ticket website. Coach, have a great day.
You also, Chris. Nice seeing you.